Good evening, everybody, and welcome to our 2022 Cookie Parent Overview. We are excited that y'all are here, and we are going to go ahead and get going to give y'all all of this amazing cookie information. So today it'll be myself. I'm Caitlin Bruni. For those of you I haven't met, I am the Juliette coordinator. And then we also have the amazing Sarnithia Sykes, who is with us from Product Program, and she is going to tell us all the tips and tricks for cookies this year. On the screen right now, you'll just see a little overview of what we're going to be talking about. We're specifically looking at what the Girl Scout cookie program really is and what it's meant to foster in our girls, talking about what each of the individual phases in our program is, talking about tools and resources for y'all, because there are plenty that you can use to your advantage, explaining the tasks you're individually responsible for, and then we're also going to answer any questions that y'all have as they come up. All right, Sarnithia, would you like me to keep going on this one?
I can take over for you, Caitlin. I'll start. Good evening, and thank you all for joining us. We're so happy to have you, and you're interested in having your girls participate in the Girl Scout Cookie Program. So of course, what you're looking at now are going to be the varieties and the pricing of the cookies that are going to be offered for your girls to be able to sell this season. We do have a new cookie on board this year called Adventurefuls, and it's going to be a brownie inspired cookie with caramel cream and a hint of sea salt. You also might notice, especially if you've purchased cookies or participated in the program with us before, that the pricing looks a little different. So we're entering into a year of new pricing for our core cookies, as well as introducing what is our 9th cookie this year. So the core cookies are going to be $5 per box, and our specialty cookies, which are our Girl Scout s'mores and our Toffee-tastic, which are our gluten-free cookies, are going to be $6 per box. And this is a screen just showing you that the baker, Little Brownie Bakers, is our baker that makes these wonderful cookies. It takes a lot of pride in providing quality ingredients for the cookies that are represented in our lineup each and every year. So just gives you a global aspect of the ingredients used and how those cookies are created to deliver such a great taste. One of the ways you can really excite and get interactive with your Girl Scouts is to engage and work on what we call the Cookie Entrepreneur Family pins. There are 2 pins for each Girl Scout level, except for when she gets to the cadet level, where there'll be 3 pins, but each of these has some really specific learning tasks and goals to help girls really step into their own skin as entrepreneurs that you can help her navigate with some quick activities. And once she completes those activities, she would have earned her pin, which you can purchase from our Girl Scout store. And here are some questions. So we're going to lean right into some of the meat of what it means to participate as a Juliette in the Girl Scout Cookie Program. I'm going to let Caitlin hop back in to go over some of these hot topics and frequently asked questions, and then we'll come right back into how that all looks as we go through the Girl Scout year as it relates to the cookie program.
Fantastic. Thank you, Sarnithia. So the very basic question of how do I get started? And that is filling out the parent permission form. So you would have gotten that in any of the reminder emails for this evening. You can also find it on our website underneath the cookies tab. And I'll be sending out a reminder email after this session with a link to it again. That just makes sure you understand the commitment that you're taking and that we have all of your contact information should we need it anytime during the program. Also right now, a special thing just for Juliette that we are doing is a cookie rally in a box. So if you fill out the parent permission form, you are automatically going to be sent a cookie rally in a box, and you get to be one of the first people who get to taste that wonderful adventure pool that Sarnisa was just talking about. So you get your own box of cookies to kind of start getting excited about the season. For Juliette, we typically don't use troop numbers, but for the cookie program, the way we enter people into our system, everyone gets assigned a troop number. This is only an identification purpose for the cookie program. It is not an indicator that she is in a troop, and it is not used anywhere else. So that number will be specifically assigned to you by myself. You will get an email telling you exactly what it's for and exactly what your number is. Then do you need to use your own bank account? Yes, just because Juliette's are technically an individual troop of one, and they are responsible for their sales and proceeds. So if you feel the need to create a new separate bank account, you can certainly do that. We just want you to make sure that you are using your information and you have access to the account because you are responsible for the financials. How do I pick up cookies? So every adult is going to be responsible for picking up their own cookie orders at Count and Go. We'll talk a little bit more about this later on in the process, but Count and Go is a really amazing process that our product programs team has gotten down to a science. Very simple drive-through pickups, and you get to see a couple smiling faces who help to get you load your cookies. Again, we'll talk about that a little bit more later on. And then, can I use digital cookie without EBuddy registration? The answer to that is no. Every troop has a troop leader or cookie manager. Since your Juliette is a troop of one, you are going to be her troop leader / cookie manager for this. And then I will be managing every Juliette EBuddy just to make sure I have everybody under one roof. And then Sarnisia, I know we have one more page of frequently asked questions. So what are the Juliette cookie rewards, and do they receive individual monetary proceeds? So the Juliette cookie rewards are the exact same rewards as our Gator Council. They are the same rewards, and I linked the virtual reward poster in the email reminding us about this lovely meeting, and I will do so again when I send the follow-up email for this. There are amazing levels. We've always worked to find rewards that the girls are interested in, and if your girls are a little older or want to try for some different experiences within council, they can earn cookie dough, which can go towards membership fees, camp, badge and sats purchases, and different events throughout the year. Individual troop proceeds, though, that the girls earn are pooled for all Juliette Girl Scouts. That's what we use to fund our cookie rally in the boxes. That's what we use to do different events throughout the year. So anytime you see a movie meetup or a hybrid option or a day at camp for our Juliettes, that is how we are funding that. And that's why there is typically no cost to them for that event. We also use it to do our end of year ceremony and our bridging ceremony and any other special little things we do. We also have a special option just for Juliette. So if you sell even one box of cookies, you will get a Juliette reward, and that is going to be announced when we start in January. And that is genuinely just selling one box. And it's an easy way to kind of get your girls involved or interested in, to say, if you just sell one, you get a prize. And it's always great to see them rewarded for their hard work. The next question, can Juliette host cookie booths? The answer is yes. We're going to talk about that a little bit more because it looks a little bit different than what a typical cookie booth would look like, but we are going to get to the depths of that in just a little bit. And then if you have even more questions, I know Sarnisia has already dropped the cookie troop leader guide into the chat, so you can download your own copy there. You can also send me an email anytime at juliette@gsgatl.org, or at my personal email, which is cbrune, CBRUNE, @gsgatl.org. And if I don't know the answer for you, I know that our lovely product program team is always there to help us and point us in the right direction.
All right, so as Caitlin mentioned, what you need to get started is really taking that first step with completing your parent permission and financial responsibility form to make sure you're enlightened with how the program will work and your responsibilities as a parent as it relates to the product and the money that you'll be collecting. Once you've done that, we'll make sure that you get program materials. Most of you all have probably already received your girl's order card and door hangers and a parent letter. You'll receive a hard copy of that Troop Cookie Manager's Guide once we know that you all are really serious about participating and taking on the role as the Troop Cookie Manager for your girl of one. And we'll get that in the mail to you again once the parent permission form is filled out, and along with a couple of other items that might be helpful for you as you navigate the program as a cookie manager for your daughter. So our theme this year, which we have a new theme each and every year, is going to be Climb with Courage. So you'll see that imprinted on lots of items this year, as well as our mascot, who is a koala. So our mascot is Bentley, who was named from our baker. So these are just a couple of fun facts about koalas and why they were chosen as the mascot for girls during the cookie program. Like I said, you'll see that mascot come through and lots of the rewards that you'll see that'll be available for your Girl Scout to earn this year. And we're going to highlight just a few of them. But if you want to see the full gamut of items that your Girl Scout will be able to earn this season, you can check out our virtual rewards poster, which is a wonderful site, very interactive, where she can get up close and personal with those items she can earn. And coming in January, we'll also be adding some really nice unboxing videos from Girl Scouts within our own council. So let's just take a dabble at a few of them. We'll have a couple of items for that girl on the go, a beach towel, a water bottle, a poncho, a Vera Bradley travel set. For that girl who's a visionary, we'll have a journal, a stamp set. We're offering a Cricut bundle that's going to come with tool supplies as well as a heat press. We'll also have something for that adventurous girl, a hat, a satchel. We have a sweatshirt, an opportunity for her to have a glamping experience for her and a guest, t-shirt, tote bag. So lots of awesome items that she'll be able to earn. And again, these are just a few of them that we'll have offered. We'll also be making available some special reward items for girls. We're going to go over the 4 phases of the cookie program, one of which is going to be the initial order period. So that's going to be that pretty much that full window of January. And as long as your Girl Scout has 180 boxes or more sold within that window of time, she'll earn that koala hip pouch. If your Girl Scout participates in Smiles for Military, which is our council donation program, she can earn some of those special items there. If she participates and activates her online site through Digital Cookie to sell online, she has some special items she can earn there, as well as overall sales at the end of the program, earning that bandana and t-shirt for you and your Girl Scout. And if she's a Daisy, she'll also get a Cookie Rookie patch. So lots of fun and exciting things coming your way. Now we're going to hop right into the phases of the program and some of the enhancements that you'll see as we move forward with the technology and some of the pieces that have been incorporated for this season. One of which you'll hear us say over and over and over again is going to be your main one-stop shop for answers for the cookie program. It's going to be that Troop Cookie Manager's Guide, which is posted already in the chat and is available on the website. Again, you'll also get that hard copy in the mail once we have your completed parent permission form. And you can see each of those phases. You'll see those colors, walks through each step of the cookie program. So it's broken down really nicely with your dates, with your action steps, with screenshots of the technology and what steps you should take to make sure that you get each and everything done to make sure that everything goes as smooth as possible for you and your girl this season. Our websites are already up and developed with lots of content, so don't ever hesitate to go and check out what we have for you there. You can get to the cookie section really easily by cookies.girlscoutsatl.org. There's a page for girls and families. There's a page for cookie volunteers, as well as a page dedicated to resources, which highlights not only resources specifically for girls and parents, but for you all as you step into that role of a troop volunteer in this particular instance, working with your Girl Scout as a troop cookie manager. So know that there are tons of things even beyond the troop guide that are available for you for clarity and for understanding about walking through. We also have some troop check-ins set up. So at any point in the program, we have 4 dates available for you all to be able to join us, which is me and my team, for just a 30-minute quick session for you to jump in on a webinar similar to this. We'll give you some tips for what's upcoming right at that point in the season, and then allow you just to have some time to open some questions. It's really about the Q&A and making sure that whoever's participating in the program has the resources and the information they need to take the next step. So again, those are 30-minute sessions. Feel free to sign up and join us for any of those if you'd like. No pressure there. If you've got it covered, no worries. We'll also be sending out lots of email communications that Caitlin will be forwarding to you all that'll also help walk you through and make sure that you're up to date with everything you need to know. All right, so for our 4 phases of the cookie program, it's going to be this period before the program, which has been October to December, which is really all about setup. It's access points for you, making sure contact information is correct so that we're ready to launch and go forth with our initial order period. That's going to start January 1st and go through January 23rd. The next phase is our go-getter phase, which is just a small window of time. So right after you submit that initial order, you've got pretty much a week worth of window where your Girl Scout can still take orders if she wants, but you have a little downtime before it's ready to hop in and pick up those cookies that your customers have been wanting so that you can start making those deliveries. And if she chooses to participate in some cookie stand activities, which are pretty much similar to Cookie Boost, but for individual Girl Scouts. And all of that happens from February 7th through March 14th. Right, again, the initial order period starts January 1st. So on that day, your girl will be able to go out and start taking orders using that order card. She'll also be receiving an email invitation to sign up and activate her online cookie site, which is powered through Digital Cookie. This site is going to allow your Girl Scout to take orders online where customers can purchase cookies to be shipped to them. They can donate to our Smiles for Military initiative if they don't want cookies for themselves, or if they want to do a +1 and bonus and send some smiles to our military partners. That's great as well. And they'll also be able to purchase cookies for in-person delivery. So if you are allowing that to take place on your site, which you get to control, they can pay upfront. And essentially, once you have those cookies in hand, you can simply go around and start making deliveries, but the money part would already be taken care of for you. That site also offers a mobile app that we encourage everyone to download, but that'll allow you to do some contactless payments to make it easier to stay connected with customers. It also has some really great tools, such as a built-in QR code for your Girl Scout site to make sharing a whole lot easier, and just lots of other functionalities to take that technology piece for your Girl Scout to the next level. I'm going to show you a couple of slides of what that site setup looks like. And again, this is going to start on January 1st when she gets that email, but she'll be able to set up her site by entering her box goal, writing a little couple of lines about her cookie story. So why she wants to sell cookie, why she set her goal the way it's set. If she chooses, she can upload a picture of herself for her customers to be able to see when they shop, or she can take and use some of the other images or her own images of maybe what her goal is. So if she wants to go skiing, maybe she uploads the place where she wants to go on her big trip at the end of the year, but there's an opportunity to do the photo or video that customers will be able to preview when shopping. And then it's just a mini little approval process for you as a parent to make sure that the information your Girl Scouts entered is good and ready to be live on the internet. So you'll get to approve that content. And if she's 13 or older, you do have the ability to essentially split the setup so that your Girl Scout can have her own login. And then anything that she enters or puts up on her site goes through approval and comes to you as the parent to approve before it gets published. But it allows her a little more responsibility as an older girl to do her own site setup without you necessarily right there beside her. This is a sample of what the site would look like from a customer's perspective. Once they get the Girl Scouts email, to see how she's tracking towards her goal, and easy entry of the boxes that they'd like to order. Again, they'll have options for shipped, donated, or in-person delivery. And you'll see that in that next screen that the option for in-person delivery comes with a little caveat, because perhaps Miss Johnson, thinks she's right down the street, but she's really 45 minutes away. You as a parent do have the flexibility of approving or declining those orders for in-person delivery. So perhaps if that customer is someone you can't get to, the site is automatically prompting those customers ahead of time before they completely check out that, hey, this order has to be approved by the parent. And just in case it's not approved, what would you like to do with your order? Would you like to donate it, or would you like to cancel it altogether? The default option, secondary option that's going to be checked automatically is going to be cancel the order if it is not approved by the parent. So just know that that's already happening behind the scenes, and the customer will get a chance to opt for donating those cookies, where the girl can still get box credit and rewards credit for that, just in case you're unable to make that delivery. So this is kind of what it shows like once the order has been approved. You'll see all the information you need from the customer to their order number, the number of boxes, what needs to be approved, what doesn't, and then you'll also be able to open up those transactions, of course, to be able to see the details, so you know exactly what to deliver when you get your cookies in hand. You'll also start to hear something about digital cookie troop links. So I want to make the distinction right now, because you are a troop of one, you're automatically working with your girl, who I am really sure is going to open up her own digital cookie site. You only need to do a little bit of what we're going to talk about in this piece with the troop links, because your troop is a troop of one. This essentially would be most often used for traditional troops where you have 5 or 6 girls when they want to do what we might clone as a virtual booth and sell online together. You still have the option to use these features as a girl and parent, but I don't want you to feel pressured that you need to be trying to manage 2 types of digital cookie sites when the focus really should be on your individual girl's site, okay? So troop links are another option. This is going to be the one I'm going to encourage you to set it and forget it. Available to each and every troop who's participating in the cookie program is the first link, which is a troop ship only link. So we have what we find as a cookie finder. It's an online platform. It's an app, because people all over the country are looking for Girl Scout cookies when cookie season opens. So there's a way nationally for customers to connect with troops to purchase cookies. And typically that would be in a space lending them to find an in-person booth where you see them out front of Kroger and Walmart and things like that. But it's the age of technology, and some people don't mind purchasing or would prefer purchasing online. So this provides an opportunity for every troop to have equal access to be featured on our National Cookie Finder platform, where customers will put in a zip code. A troop link will be supplied to them, so one troop link at a time, to be able to purchase cookies online. And then they'll also have the opportunity as customers to see those in-person booths where they can drive up to a store or business location and purchase cookies direct. So that availability and that feature will be open to you on February 7th to set up. and we'll actually open up our cookie finder, and it will go live nationally on February 18th. So there's some time. It's still December. And even on February 7th, when that feature becomes available for sign up, you still have a window of time before that feature goes live nationally, and you can turn that on and off whenever you want. So again, it's a great feature to just set it and forget it. You don't have to track it. You don't have to do anything else with it. Once you activate it, it's good to go. And you'll probably end up getting a few online sales for shipped cookies that are going to just help your Girl Scout reach her goal a little quicker. The second Troop link that's going to be available, which is the one that you probably won't use, but I'm going to tell you about it anyway, just so we're all clear about what the opportunities are. It's really more for like a curbside booth, if you will. So this link will be a link that you can share on your own. It's not going to be published anywhere. It's not on the national platform. It's just going to be in your quote unquote Troop digital cookie site page, but you could essentially take that URL and have customers, if you turn it on, pay in advance and list opportunities for curbside pickup. There's some other caveats that go along with that because it's essentially going to be linked to in-person booths, and more or less at times for Juliette's, when you're hosting what we call a cookie stand, because you're an individual girl, it's going to be on private property. So it might be, in front of your home in the front yard. It might be at a very private company. It may even be at the clubhouse in your neighborhood, where essentially you might not want to have that information available across the globe for anybody to just kind of roll up to the property to make purchases. So I'm going to say that the second Troop link, for the most part, isn't something that I would necessarily encourage Juliette's to use, but that's at your discretion as a parent, and you'll be getting more information down the line on what that really means and how to do some additional setup for that if you choose to use that feature. But again, your Girl Scout already has her own digital cookie site link. You're already sharing that with your friends and family, with the folks that you're connected to. So essentially, if you wanted to host your own curbside pickup, you don't even need this link. They can purchase online. They can choose in-person delivery, and you can call Ms. Johnson and say, hey, you can come and pick up your cookies on Tuesday between 2 and 4, all on your own without the extra setup. But it's there if you'd like to check it out. So we're going to talk about the technology that's going to fuel the program for you as a parent supervising your girl in the program, which is going to be EBuddy. It is the Troop ordering system. That's going to be where you're going to get that special Troop number from Caitlin that's simply going to identify you for using this platform only. Has nothing to do with your Girl Scouts Juliette status. It's just how the platform is set up that you're going to need a Troop number. So Caitlin assigns that to you, and that's going to provide you access to be able to track your Girl Scout sales, order additional cookies, make sure you're choosing the right rewards that your Girl Scout has earned, track the payments that are going to come in from those customers who are ordering online, do everything you need to do to get through cookie season. Okay, so some of the highlights of EBuddy is that it's necessary. Not only will you get access to the online platform that you can work with your laptop, with your traditional computer setup, but EBuddy has an app as well, and the app is going to be necessary to take you through cookie season. So once you've done your setup with your online portion, make sure you go to your app store, whether it's the Google Play Store or the Apple Store, and download that app on your phone or another electronic device, because you will need it to move forward, especially as we get to the place where you might want to pick up extra cookies for your Girl Scout. Okay. You don't need to email yourself through the system. So number 2 is null and void for you. But we'll now be able to show you what we're going to automatic withdraw for what's due counsel. So as Caitlin mentioned, for payment purposes, we do automatic withdrawals from bank accounts. to acquire the funds that are due. So you'll be providing your banking information to counsel on a secure site, and EBuddy will be able to tell you accurately in real time, based on the inventory that you've picked up, how much we're going to be taking out and when. So you can see that ongoing through the system, which is a great new feature. There's a help center within the site that will help with some learning tools. There's some mini videos to show you how to use the EBuddy platform if you're a person who learns more visually than through the paper and the steps that are written in the book. And then digital cookie orders and payments. I'm going to skip the other one too, because that's taken care of because you're operating over 111. But digital cookies. So while those customers are purchasing online, to get those cookies either shipped to them for in-person or donating, some of those sales are going to come over automatically to EBuddy. So you'll be able to see how that's tracking towards your Girl Scouts goal. And those payments are going to come over automatically. So during that initial order window of January 1st through the 23rd, anytime a order is sent over that you've approved for girl delivery, that you're gonna pick up cookies and you're gonna hand deliver, those are gonna be automatically captured in EBuddy. It's gonna automatically capture the shipped cookies, nothing to do with those because they're going directly to the customers because they're covering shipping, as well as those donated boxes. But as far as you tracking what you will physically need in hand to pick up, the site is going to take care of that for you automatically from January 1st through January 23rd, just that window of time. And I'll show you a screen of what that looks like. Once we get past that initial order phase though, EBuddy doesn't quite know if you've picked up extra cookies, if you're gonna approve all of those requests for deliveries. So you're gonna have to do a little more manual updates to make sure that you are going to pick up the cookies you need and then applying that box credit to your girl that she's actually going to make those deliveries. But no need to worry. We'll send plenty of communication about that later. But I want to make that distinction that at least for that short window of time for January, you don't have to worry about entering anything into the system. As far as her online sales quantities, you'll only want to worry about what you've collected and what she's tracking on her girl order card that you'll need to pick up. So there's a new date. We talked about January 1st, getting that email invitation from Digital Cookie, which is a little bit different from the date in the past, but January 1 is going to be your go live date. You'll be able to access the site, do all the setup, and send emails to friends and family to purchase online right away. The app for Digital Cookies is going to have a completely new look. So if you've participated with us before, you might be looking forward to last year's look, but it has been completely rebranded and looks really, really well. So you can look forward to that. And if you're completely new, then it'll look exactly like it's supposed to, and you'll be excited either way. You'll see that the online version, well, you'll do your initial setup, it's getting refreshed. It didn't get completely revamped this year. That'll take place next year, but you will see a few more bells and whistles in that site. For those girl delivery requests, you're going to have 5 days to approve or decline those requests. So Digital Cookies going to send you emails letting you know that you have new orders, but you might want to just check your Girl Scout site once a week, at least once a week, if not a little more, to make sure that you don't have any orders kind of lingering, and make sure you click the button to either approve that you're going to deliver those or decline those, so that the processing for your customer's card can take place one way or the other. Nothing's going to happen until after that 5-day window. So let's say you forget and you're going to go check it for 12 days. Once that 5-day window has elapsed, it's going to automatically roll into the customer's secondary choice that they made upon checkout. So that can mean that the order is going to cancel automatically, or they're going to just choose to donate those cookies. But we want you to be proactive and go and check and let you and your Girl Scout decide whether you can really handle those orders or not. At any point in the program, if there are varieties that you don't want to offer to your customers, you can turn on and off varieties. So, we're getting, maybe it's 2 weeks before the program ends, and you don't want to go back and pick up any more do-si-dos. You can turn off just the do-si-dos so that it's not available for customers to request, so that you don't have to worry about, inventory that you're not going to have. They won't even see it as an option. You'll also have the option to turn on and off that girl delivery option. If you already know that you don't want to deliver to anybody, at any point in the program, you can toggle that button on and off, and that takes that feature off for the customer or brings it back for the customers at your discretion. The digital cookie app has a OCR snap feature that will make taking contactless payments really easy. That built-in QR code is a wonderful addition to your Girl Scouts store and her marketing plan. She can print that QR code, make stickers, put it on the boxes that she's delivering so people can easily reorder from her site. There's tons of opportunity to use that in making things really easy for her to market her business and continued sales. And then just making sure that you start with setting up that site online. It kind of works like EBuddy. You need to be on the web version first. And once all the setup is complete, you'll be able to take the functionality and move forward through the program using the app. Oops, one slide. I talked to you a little bit about the troop links already. If there's an issue with an order, something goes wrong kind of after the processing has taken place, you will have the option to be able to do refunds for girl delivery orders, donation orders, and your cookies in hand orders that have been processed. So keep that in mind. Again, maybe there's an instance where you forgot to turn off a variety, or you just ran out and you can't get it. You could process a refund for that customer ahead of time so that we're not holding up funds on their account when you know that you're not going to get the product to deliver. All right. Her initial orders placed. You're going to use your EBuddy platform to do that. And again, your troop guide is going to outline how that looks step by step, what you need to click on, what you need to do to make all of that happen seamlessly. So no worries there. You'll also have some videos we'll be sending out to walk you through that visually if that also helps. But essentially, you're going to collect those orders you've got on the order card and enter those into the system. The digital cookie sales are automatically taken care of for you. You're going to calculate what you want for initial order. So, maybe she's collected 200 boxes that you've gotten as pre-orders, but your customers usually come back asking for more. Maybe you want to order an extra 50 boxes. You'll be able to do that to compile a complete order if you'd like to. You're going to submit the cookie order. You're going to make sure that if she qualified for that koala pouch, that it's listed on her rewards. You're going to submit that rewards order, and then you're going to choose where you want to pick up those cookies. They're going to be anywhere between 5 to 7 locations across our council jurisdiction that you'll be able to pick up that initial cookie from, and you'll identify that when you're processing your order right then and there. I think you showed this on another slide, but this is just another recap of how those digital cookie orders are going to look from you from the girl and parent side after they've come through and after they've been approved. And then here's how they're going to look in EBuddy. And this is you transitioning from a parent to a volunteer once you go into EBuddy. And you'll see that those quantities are listed on DOC Girl Delivery. Those quantities are already coming over in real time automatically. So the only field you're going to update for your Girl Scout is going to be anything she's collected on that order card to give you a well-rounded number of the total number of boxes you'll need to pick up. I'm not quite sure if it was mentioned previously, if Caitlin mentioned that, but this is a perfect time to make you all aware that through the cookie program and through our troop ordering system, EBuddy, while girls order in boxes, troops order in full cases. And since you are a troop of 1, you are still required to order in full cases. So you can notice on the screen that in that purple section at the bottom, there's a packages ordered line, and that is going to be literally the addition of anything entered for order card and what came over automatically for girl delivery. You'll see a cases to order. This is going to be EBuddy automatically rounding up your boxes to the next full case. You will have to pick up full cases per variety. And if some of those numbers were a little off, the extra line would show you how many boxes that you're going to have extra within that case that you didn't necessarily identify was captured from your order card or girl delivery. So an easy example of that would be if your limit up total was 20 boxes, EBuddy's automatically going to round up your cases order to 2 cases for limit ups. And then it will show in the extras that you'll have 4 extra boxes that you don't already have customers for. And you will be responsible for selling those extra 4 boxes within that case. All right, I don't see the chat blowing up, so I'm thinking that makes sense to everyone. So girls, you'll do your order for your girl in full cases, but just know that the EBuddy system is going to automatically round up to the full case per variety. All right, wonderful. That goal Gator phase, again, that's that week window. Once you've completed everything, you can kind of take a good deep breath and just wait for count and go to come around. If your Girl Scout is getting more orders during that time, no problem. Digital cookie still on, it's still accepting those orders. And if you have customers coming back and you're tracking more sales on your order card, that's fine too, because you'll be able to pick up more cookies after count and go as well. Right, so count and go is going to take place February 5th and 6th. One weekend, a Saturday and a Sunday are going to be available, and it's essentially a drive-through for your initial order pickup. You'll see a little chart there that lists on the side how many cases of cookies can fit in a type of vehicle. So you want to keep that in mind based on what your Girl Scout's picking up. You'll see I've shown a screenshot of those steps and what that looks like. As far as our processes, that's going to be outlined in your troop cookie guide. So know that that's there, but you can already be prepared that if she's going to have initial orders, this is your weekend to pick up. Those spaces across the council for those 5 to 7 locations are going to be first come, first serve. So once your order's in, you're going to put your cookies in, press submit, submit your rewards. You're going to go right to the next tab to say, perhaps I want to pick up in Atlanta on Saturday. You'll see a grid of the open time slots, and you'll simply secure a time slot for your pickup. After count and go is going to be what we call our direct sales period. So this is going to be where you're going to be delivering those cookies from initial order, picking up more cookies if your Girl Scout has some high goals and you need more inventory from our cookie cupboards, as well as if your Girl Scout is going to host a cookie stand, which is, again, essentially a cookie booth for a girl of 1 with a little more parameters. This is where you're going to be collecting money, making those deposits, and then making sure that your Girl Scout's getting credit for everything you know you've picked up and you've sold. If your Girl Scout needs more cookies, you're going to be able to order those extra cookies from a Girl Scout cookie cupboard. Again, full cases is what you're going to be picking up. So if you have orders for only 5 Samoas, you will have to pick up 12. There are 12 cookies in a full case, and that is 12 cookies for any variety across the board makes up a full case. So please keep that in mind. And again, based on your engagement, your girls' involvement, what you all have planned and what you can handle, feel free to turn on and off those varieties. If you know that you are less likely to be able to go to a cupboard and get extra cookies, or you know for certain that nobody ever comes back and asks you for another box of s'mores, maybe just turn it off ahead of time so you don't get into a situation where you have customers who've ordered just 2 boxes, and now you have to go pick up a full case of 12. And at that price point, each of those boxes is $6 that needs to be sold, unless you have an avenue for selling them. So just keep that in mind and provide some discussion with your Girl Scout, especially if she's an older girl, on how she wants to manage her business and manage her inventory. It's a great opportunity to excite some of those sparks for that entrepreneur within our girls. But you get to choose the location. We typically have anywhere from 10 to 15 locations for cookie cupboards, where you can go and get extra cookies at any point in time. Each of them have a varied schedule. So you want to make sure that when you're on your transactions tab and you're putting that in, that you're paying attention to the details for the hours of operation for that site, and when you can go, what varieties might be available. We typically don't have an issue with inventory, but for some reason, if that location is out of tag-alongs, you will see that grayed out. And if that's a cookie you need, you would need to choose another site to pick up from. But all of the information you'll need will be there online. And then you'll see to the right, there's a little snapshot of what that even looks like when you're going through making some of those selections on the app. So you can take the app from start to finish with the program for any task that you need. And I will say, based on what's happened in the world with COVID, it's still out there. Some of the smaller locations or some of the locations that need a little more spacing to accommodate pickups, there might be some extra indicators that maybe you don't have a general window of time, but more or less a specific time to show up. So that app version is showing you that someone has chosen to pick up at 10 a.m. And it says, well, 10 a.m. when? You want to come at 10:05, 10:25, 10:30. And those are the time blocks that are available for pickup. And you will be able to specify what day and time you want to go to that specific location. So just make sure you're paying attention to the screen and the prompts. And I say everyone needs that app because that's the way you're going to sign for your pickup. Once you get those extra cookies from a cookie cupboard, everything else is going to happen either on your phone or a tablet of some device where you've downloaded the app. There'll be 2 ways you can essentially sign or confirm your pickup. You simply click on the calendar icon, click the button to confirm your order. It's going to show you exactly what you should have been provided. And if it's good, you're just going to hit confirm. You can also be able to get to your transactions from your menu screen on your app, scroll through for the items that are ready for pickup, see exactly, again, what that order consists of, and confirm that pickup. And that will be essentially you signing digitally. We won't have any paper at any of the cupboard locations. So look forward to paperless and contactless pickups at your local cookie cupboard. Next is just making sure you allocate the boxes. After that initial order window, when you're continuing to sell, the program's going to fully close out on March 14th. So after that date, you won't be able to make any edits to EBuddy. So any edits to your girl box totals won't be allowed after that time frame. So any items coming through, any pickups that you've picked up from a cupboard essentially would have been given to you as a troop. You want to make sure that you move that box credit to your individual girl. So it's tracking to her earning whatever item is at 300 boxes or 400 boxes, and so on and so on. So at the end of the day, you want that bottom line for what's available in your troop inventory to be 0. And that means that you've made sure that every single box that you all have sold as a troop of 1 has been allocated as far as box credit to your individual Girl Scout. And Moneywise, make sure you sign that parent permission form. That's the first step. Provide us with your banking information on that electronic payment authorization form. Know when we're expecting to receive those funds, and those dates are outlined on our website and in the book. If you can, avoid accepting checks. I know that some people are still writing checks, but use discretion in who you're accepting those from, so you don't have any bank fees that are going to ultimately impact you being able to clear your balance on time. You want to make frequent deposits into your accounts, or if you're accepting lots of cash, Again, make sure you're going and making those deposits. So when those withdrawal dates come around, that you don't have an issue for insufficient funds, because we do charge late fees for payments. This is essentially what your electronic payment authorization form looks like. As an example, you're going to make sure you're using that troop number that Caitlin provides to you, and your service unit name is going to be GSGATL service unit. Everything else from there on out is going to be easy breezy to fill out as far as providing us with your contact information and banking information. Our 2 withdrawal dates are shown here. We'll be taking 60% of your initial order minus any digital cookie payments that have come through up through February 18th on March 2nd. So March 2nd is going to be the first time we take money from the account that you're going to provide on that financial form. And it's going to be 60% of the amount due for the cookies that you picked up at Count and Go, minus any transactions or money that's come through from digital cookie. Because essentially when those customers are paying through digital, that money is coming through Greater Atlanta, and the sites are automatically crediting your troop with a payment to us. So it's not money you have to collect. It's not money you have to pay us again, because it's already there. So we're taking that into account to make sure we give you a fair withdrawal amount that first time around. And then we'll make the final withdrawal on March 25th to close out the program. And we'll be withdrawing any remaining amount due council. And based on what Caitlin mentioned ahead of time, because the troop proceeds go into the Juliette pot, you're not going to keep those as an individual Girl Scout. So when you see that outlined in EBuddy, just know that that amount is going to get applied back to what you need to pay to us. So we will be collecting the full amount of money collected for cookies, if that makes sense. If the box of cookies costs $5 a box, you will be paying council the entire $5 a box. If it's $6 a box, at the end of the day, you'll be paying for it the entire $6 a box. And the traditional troop proceeds earned for those sales are going to go into the Juliette pot for you to be able to pull from for your Girl Scouts future activities as a Juliette. All right, that was a lot. So we're going to take a breath, take a little pause. Hopefully that wasn't too much, but we wanted to give you a clear picture ahead of time on what cookie season looks like, not only as the girl and parent, but as the volunteer managing the troop, since you'll have that extra responsibility this year. But again, no worries. This was just the beginning. You'll have a guide, you'll have emails, you'll be able to contact us online, you'll be able to come to the check-ins. So it's going to be totally doable. All we need you to do is take the first step, okay? Once you've completed that parent permission form and Caitlin's got the ball rolling, we'll go ahead and make sure you have access to EBuddy, which will essentially give you access to the app as well as digital cookie. Okay, you're not alone. There's resources, again, already online that I showed you. Use that troop guide, reach out to Caitlin. You can always reach out to the cookie team directly as well, and make use of the resources we have on the website. It'll take you far. All right, do we have any questions?
So Anicia, right now I just see one specifically asking where in Doraville would the location be, because it looks like the building they picked up from last year was sold.
Yep, some of those locations have changed. We have the Count and Go sites pretty much narrowed down, but we're still working on the covered locations. And you'll see some information coming out mid-January about the covered locations and where those will be. So I don't have a definite for you at the moment for that one, but just know that once we get back for the new year, you'll see something coming out within that second to third week about cupboards and where they're going to be located. And when they're available, you'll be able to go in EBuddy on your own and see exactly where they are and see what their hours of operation are.
Fantastic. And then let's see, is there a PDF version of the rewards poster?
There is not, but your Girl Scouts order card essentially would be that paper version, but I don't have a true PDF file. Let me see what we can come up with if you think you need a PDF version, and I can get something to Caitlin by the end of the week. Okay.
Fantastic. And then can the online accounts be set up before January 1st?
They cannot. So the new date is January 1 for everything to be open.
That is all that I see in the chat right now. So either everyone knows what's going on or is really overwhelmed. And either way, that is a-okay.
Yeah, that is totally fine. And I'm assuming with the online accounts you mean for digital cookie. EBuddy access will come once Caitlin has your true intent for participation. We'll be able to get you set up with that. But as far as digital cookie for girls, that won't be available until January 1st.
And then let's see, we have, if we order cookies from a different state, can my girl get credit? Now, Janelle's
No, ma'am. They would have to be ordered through Girl Scouts of Greater Atlanta. And they would need to be either something that were tracked on the order card and you hand enter to pick up, or through her digital cookie site. But she would not be able to get credit for cookies that don't and aren't sold through our council.
Fantastic. And then is that the same date for EBuddy? So Layla, EBuddy will be coming out as soon as we get everybody input. So once I get your parent permission form, we're working on getting everybody input into EBuddy.
Yep. So you could potentially have EBuddy access. What is today? Today's Tuesday. Sometime later this week or early next week, if you go ahead and complete that parent permission form. If not, the team is ready to rock and roll on January 1st, that will be providing access based on what Caitlin has provided. So the sooner the better. If you'd like to go ahead and get started as the volunteer troop leader, troop cookie manager for your Girl Scout, I'd say, do your completion of the parent permission form today, tomorrow. So the team can get you into EBuddy and into digital cookie as a volunteer, not as a parent, but as a volunteer next week before the holidays and before everybody's out on break.
Fantastic. Let's see.
Can you announce, what on social media? You can announce the new cookie. You can announce the pricing. You can announce that your Girl Scout's going to start taking orders January 1. Don't start before then. You'll cause a lot of commotion, but you can start promoting that Girl Scout cookie season is right around the corner, and that she'll be ready to take orders January 1st. Again, the cookies, the pricing, anything to kind of get a little buzz, but we don't want anyone actually taking orders until the 1st. And then if you have a place that folks come and visit, you can let them know that, you'll be posting your daughter's Girl Scout cookie, digital cookie site link January 1st. So they can come back at 12 noon, create a little buzz on January 1st so they can come and purchase from her directly online. Just don't start selling anything until the 1st. Okay, oh, you already did. Asking for an email. Let's see what
And
else.
then Layla, I see your question of, will the process be advertised for end of year Juliette program funding requests? So I'm taking that to mean, we do try to be very open and honest that the Juliette funds all come back into one pot that keep the Juliette program going. We do have different resources that you can use to apply for high award grants, and that's where part of our money goes from. But usually we just announce in our newsletters specifically what programs are coming up. And you'll kind of see throughout the entire year, we spread our cookie budget and everything that the girls work hard for to make sure that they get that money back in the program. So Layla, let me know if you have more specific questions on that, and I'm happy to talk more on that, but we do make sure it kind of keeps circling back the money.
And Janelle asked if she could add her husband to pick up cookies. You most certainly can. Once you get into EBuddy, you'll have rights to add additional users, if you will. So you can either add your husband as a secondary cookie manager or a pickup only user. Either way, it's probably best he be the co-cookie manager, but either one will suffice. But just know that when he actually gets on site, he too will need the EBuddy app on his mobile phone. So if he does go, picks up cookies, that he can sign for them before he leaves the pickup location.
And then just a quick to Jane, the high award grant, we do offer partial funding and receipts of any of the bronze, silver, gold projects that your girls do work on, just to make sure that a typical troop might be able to help them fundraise, but the Juliette program pools all into one pot. And so we try to help out our girls who are earning their high awards.
And Cheryl, yes, cadets can opt out of rewards and not get the tchotchkes and just get the badges. There is you need to sign the form because you're a troop of one, but there's a non-reward girl agreement form on the website. I can also kind of do a screenshot for Caitlin to share if you want to know the specific patches that your Girl Scout will earn if she opts out, but that is totally doable and understandable and well within your rights and access points to do so in EBuddy if she just wants to get the badges.
All right, and do we have any other questions? And obviously this is not the last time you get to ask questions. You can always email myself or Sarnithia or the helpline in general. We are always going to be around for any questions you might have.
And don't hesitate to sign up for some of those check-ins, even if you don't. And what I encourage when I do the other trainings is sign up for all of them, the troop webinars, the troop check-ins. And even if you don't attend, because you're on my roster, you'll get the follow-up email with the recording. So it serves a good purpose. You can check in and come and talk to me if you have questions at that point. But if not, at least you know you have a backup and you'll have the recording to listen to if needed as review because you're on the roster as an attendee. Okay. Awesome.
All right. Well, I don't see anybody else in the chat. So I'm going to go ahead and say thank you all so much for coming. We look forward to a fantastic cookie season. And a special thank you to Sarnithia for sticking it out with us and talking about one of her favorite topics.
No problem. And I hope that you all have a fantastic holiday season. I hope to see you all in the new year as participants in the cookie program. And hopefully you'll join me for a check-in.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.